got the transmission in. I'm a fucking mess. So I gotta change out the starter, and then I got a vacuum leak on this carburetor I want to take care of, and then we'll tune this motor and get the drive shaft in it. Yeah, got the transmission on. Got rid of the automatic because the front pump was leaking real bad, and I'll have it rebuilt and use it for a spare. Went to start the engine, it was popping, wasn't idle. So you know, you would think timing, but I had my doubts about the intake gaskets I used. This is my bad. So I grabbed the old smoke machine, smoked it, and this intake right here just did not seal. So I'll show you what's going on with that. So this sumbitch was just not wanting to run. Might be hard to see because the way I had to do this, there's no vacuum ports and there's no way to seal off the top of the carburetor. So I basically got to hold it in there with a towel. You'll see let's turn it up a little bit. Oh, here. Yep, see the smoke? Well, it's hard to see it. Yep, there it is. She coming right out. And that would be why she running like garbage. You can't have air sucking before a carburetor, so it's leaking there for the most part is what I found. But I got a new set of intake gaskets. I'm gonna switch them out, trim them, and do it the right way. It's a little bit on me by using just the standard felt probe, but that's all I can get from the local parts stores. So I went down to the city and they had what I needed. So alrighty. Whole lot of gas.
Whole lot of gas.
Yeah. Hell of a vacuum leak. Oh heck, I put up all the tools.
Yeah.
Unhook the power wire.
40 years, said the man with a gavel in his hand. Now take this wicked man away. Old Dan spun around, shot the deputy downtown. It ain't gonna happen today. Thunder Dan is a
Go.
outsider if you close him in.
Cap off here.
4 dogs, 5 dogs, and a house made of lives 30 miles.
So, get rid of that. Away. Thank God for race cars. Alright, take that to work. Right there. Nope. There we go. Mark it. And that is. Fold it and strip it up. And it's 9/16. You damn right, Snake Farm.
What you doing now, buddy?
I gotta change these intake gaskets.
Oh, hell.
What?
I just want it. Oh, you got a fancy clear rotor. Oh, you got a fancy clear cab, too. Didn't know they made such a thing. Can you get that off without taking the valve covers off?
Huh? Yeah.
I didn't know if you could or not.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, always getting in trouble. Leaving little girls that hate to see me.
Alright.
Now you need a 9/16 ratchet wrench.
No.
Huh? You don't use them?
I can. I just don't need it. Huh? It's a fuel line.
Well, from north to south and east to west, the story's all the same. One state to another, I had to change my name. I'm Avenue. Everywhere I go, always getting in trouble. Leaving them girls that hate to see me go.
Good thing I didn't put no water in it. That fucking caliber. It falls again, I'm gonna rip it the fuck off there. Come on, baby. Are you serious? Let me put these damn hoses on.
I picked the peaches in Georgia. I love the Jack and Maine. Well, I've been hired and fired and
What the
jailed. Any town you can name.
Who the fuck put these on?
Everywhere I go.
Well, who the fuck put this hose on?
Leaving them girls.
Why is there tape around it?
I didn't take that. You did.
Why? So I gotta get pissed off at it? Jesus Christ.
Massive back.
With that manifold.
With the fucking gaskets he bought brand new.
They're the wrong gaskets, it's on me. I just figured I could move them up far enough. Huh?
Didn't work out, huh?
Oh, they're the right gaskets for a small block Chevy, but
You ain't got all
big
these
ported
loose
head.
rights, screw them out.
huh?
You don't have all these loose rights, don't you take them out?
Alright. Take out this back bolt. You should be able to lift this damn intake off here. Change these out to the right gaskets for this head. And hopefully it'll run better. It should. So. Mistakes you make and live by. Oh yeah, she's real tight. Alright. Good girl. There we go. Come on, baby. cleaned up and then get the new gasket set on there. Alright. Got the surfaces in here. I'm going to put a little bit of RBT, silicone around the areas. Basically, mainly should be around the water jackets. Hold the gasket in place. And then I'm going to put a little bit here. There. Alright. Sometimes when a distributor wants to fight you, the oil pump around moves a little bit, so I'm going to go a little bit that way. See if she sets down in there. I'm going to have it out. Sometimes I don't get lucky. Go the other way. You'd think that it didn't turn that much with me pulling it out. I'm pissed because I'm marked this son of a bitch. Trying to do things the easy way. It didn't. Try there. What could go wrong? Boom! Perfection. What a victory that was. I win. Distributor 0. Wow. If you counted how many times I pulled it in and out, it's like distributor 5.
like they seal.
Yeah, it looks like it, but
It's got a big ass cam on it.
well, I understand that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it.
It's running out of fuel.
That was me.
I know what to do. I think it's that fucking distributor.
No, it's not. I smoke it again. I guarantee it's like this intake has been cut a shit ton. A shit ton.
Well, if it's got a vacuum leak, check it and see. If it don't have a vacuum leak,
Oh, it does. I guarantee you. I'm tired of fucking taking the intake off.
see if it's got a vacuum leak. And if it doesn't,
That pop can tell me right there, man.
that could be that fucking distributor. I'm telling you, it could be that fucking distributor.
The distributor's fine. That's fine.
And I think you're fucking running out of fuel.
It's full.
Where she came from.
Fucking figure out. Oh.
I got it.
Watch, you're gonna probably see the bottom of the gasket's gas soaked. Yep. Look at that. It didn't seal at all.
No, it ain't sealing at the bottom. It's at the top.
Well, I knew it was at the bottom because it.
Right, but I mean, it is sealing at the top.
But why?
Well, it tells me the angle's cut wrong on the manifold.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. That's all it could be. Otherwise, it would be sealed.
Oh shit.
It's not. Yeah, see, it's wet here, it's wet here.
Yeah. Shit.
Actually, this side is smoking. If we've been paying attention, it's coming out more.
Well, I didn't have the valve cover loose. It was coming out this valve
Yeah.
cover. So, like I said, as soon as it leaks into here, it's going to run up through the oil journals and then out the valve cover. That's why I assumed it was the bottom. I mean,
Right.
hell, we're getting gas all the way over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
manifold,
the bottom side, it just
That
the
manifold's
intake's
Going
cut.
right down to the fucking intake.
that manifold's not cut right or something. Or it's warped awful bad.
The gaskets I pulled off of it, I didn't,
Didn't pay no attention.
well, no, they were wet, but I just thought maybe it was because
See how wet they are.
All the gas is fucking.
This side's actually leaking worse than that side.
Yeah, but I mean, you got a vacuum leak on every single port there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not
Change
just
fucking oil in this motherfucker.
oh, we're gonna have to. That's all gas soaked now.
it's not just limited to one
I gotta clean up and wipe it off.
side. So I gotta go check
Okay.
my battery and see how it's
Alright.
doing. Then I'll be back. Because when it gets time, I'm gonna switch it over to that. I'll put it on an hour.
got this running. Carburetor's leaking all over itself. So it's, you know, we got it to idle for a little bit, and got the timing tape on there. Sort of timed, hard to do with the carburetor all jacked up, but you can see it's leaking all over itself. So not good, but I gotta take that off. We cut the dry shaft down, got it welded up. The old man did all that, so I got enough play for the rear end to suck up when it's under load. My main thing right now is cleaning up this mess of shit so I can get that dry shaft in here before I put the body on. But it's so I get the body on it, get it painted, get some of the decals on it and stuff, get the battery tied down, get the cables tied up, peanut greased all the suspension components. We got this was all kind of haggard, so I got some welding I got to do on these spindles and the caliper brackets, try to clean them up and then put all that back together. So got a little bit going on to get this thing on the track. We got, I think, middle of March is when we start running at Granite City. So like I said, I get this motor in tune. Oh well, we had an automatic in here, Power Glide, that was built for direct driven, so it has fittings that come out of the front pump to circulate and runs off of a ball valve. We had it in here and we had it running, but whoever did it messed up the fittings in the front, and they need new housing or new front pump put into it. So we ended up putting the manual in here. I had to change the shifters. The old man, we got all the shifter linkage hooked up, played it where the old shifter was. I do got to put a shutoff valve, a main shutoff for the battery there. And then they had that cut out because of the Power Glide being like wider. So we got to plate that over, make it good, but then hook up the gas pedal and then, I don't know, get the wheels on it, get the bearings in it, see if it'll drive. So, alrighty. Alright, it's LT here. I'm over here on Sunday just messing around. The tune on the engine on my modified seems to be quite a bit out of tune. We resealed all this stuff on the carburetor. It was leaking out of the back of the metering plate here. Front, the base gasket needed to be tightened up, so we got that fixed. Actually, Dad did all that, and then he come down yesterday and was on the Saturday here and was making new panels for the side. What I'm going to do is, what I think was going on is, I think the plug gap is wrong. I think it's too small. So I think they're really, I think they were at 28 thousandths, but I don't think it's enough. That was just a suggestive from somebody. With an HEI, I think it needs to be about 40 thousandths to get a good run out of it. It's got a high ignition coil and everything, so it should be able to jump the spark even with the high compression engine. And I think that was where the ill tune was coming from. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to re-gap the plugs. We'll go back to it and we'll start the engine, see what it can run like it, and try to get it to warm up and idle right. It was idling erratically. Sounded like it had a misfire, which could be from the plug gap being too small. So go from there. Hopefully we can get it in tune. Well, I know I can get it in tune. I just gotta either get some new plugs, re-gap them. These are a little fouled. Let me see if I can clean them up. We'll go with that. Alrighty. Alright, so I got the plugs re-gapped. They're 40 thousandths. You run a high performance HEI coil and distributor. The old man's car runs MSD, but that will produce just enough voltage, or enough voltage for that being 40 thousandths. And I actually think GM recommended this from factory, but beyond that, this is a race car engine, so, or it wants to be. But so I got that done pretty quickly because I tie my wires up so they're at length, so I know where they go, and I just put them on, put the plugs in, clean the plugs up with some memory cloth, and then, I mean, they are old. They were the ones in the engine that were not gapped properly, so the reason I reused them is to try to eliminate that as the issue from the misfire. I think that's what it was, because we had the carburetor fixed. So I'm gonna go on with that. Alrighty. So I got the plugs, like I said, gap. Tuned the carburetor in a little bit. It was just, you got one idle circuit that was way out, one idle circuit that was way in. It was not wanting to idle very well. So I set them even at the whole basis of, 2 1/4 on each side, just to get a good idle circuit, good base idle. She's got a little bit of a flamethrower thing going on, which is fine. She comes up on RPM fine, but I'm gonna put the timing light on it now, figure out where it's at, because it's either got too much or too less, and I think it's got too much timing in it right now, but we'll go from there.